So last week, week 0, was pretty decent for me. I, of course, captained Darcy Graham, which in the comments someone did put, is it my best captain ever? I'm not sure if it's my best captain ever. I want to say no, maybe like a World Cup game, but it was certainly pretty decent. He scored me 166 points and overall I got 568, which I think, and I'm hoping, wasn't too bad. I believe I'm like top 1,500 at the moment in the game. Not sure how many players are playing, but yeah, we're not too bad. And of course, 4th in our JG Rugby League. And I think 12th in JG Rugby League 2. So the 2 is definitely a little bit better. I think Carberry's Chocolate is top with 637 in that one. So yeah, congrats to Stinchy as well. 674 is a pretty decent shift for week 0. But now into week 1, which is essentially just where all teams play. How many games have we got exactly? We've got Ireland, New Zealand on the Friday, Saturday, England, Australia, Italy, Argentina, and then ending it with France, Japan. And then on Sunday, the game I'm actually going to is Wales, Fiji, and to cap it off is Scotland and South Africa. What a weekend of sport. Of course, just to clarify some of the rules, you can only pick from Northern Hemisphere teams, i.e. Ireland, England, Italy, France, Wales and Scotland. So all of the home teams you can pick from, can't pick from any of the away teams. Another slight rule change, it was brought in last week, essentially picking up to 8 players from any nation. You can still pick 8 players from any nation. So again, looking at the fixtures, France have a pretty decent fixture against Japan. I have, to be honest, gone with 8 French people. I don't know if this is a mistake because obviously lots of teams are playing this week, but that might be a route to look at. If we look at some of the teams, and you'll see them on the screen, England, again, pretty strong, same team as last week, and they're against relatively weaker opposition in Australia, so I do back them. Ireland, New Zealand will be a fantastic game, probably bar South Africa, the 2 best teams in the world. Japan, France, again, France's team is pretty loaded. Obviously have got some new faces in there, but still, it just is a pretty good team. So I have backed them to the hills. Italy against Argentina will be a good game. I'm hopeful for an Italy win, but of course Argentina can make an upset, just like the Rugby Championship. And then obviously Wales and Scotland, at the time of recording this video, haven't put out their teams, so we'll have to see who I pick for them. As always, if you are new to the channel, having just come across us for the Autumn Nations, then please subscribe. Also, comment down below as well, because reply to all the comments, pretty nice community as I always say, and if you like rugby, there's no reason why not to like fantasy. And now, the most exciting bit, looking at my team. So, in the front row, as always, where to start, we've gone for Ellis Genge, Malvaka and Andrew Porter. Ellis Genge, Andrew Porter are actually pretty cheap for props. I think they're both below 14 stars, which, looking at the props, is not bad given they're, well, 2 of the best names in the game. So I've gone for these guys, going to get good minutes, but also pretty good carriers for their team. And also I've gone with Malvaka because, well, great fixture in Japan, know he's dynamic, loves to carry the ball. Only thing I'm worried about, especially with a weaker fixture, is minutes. And there's Marchand on the bench, who usually starts. In the second row, I have Miafu, who is an absolute powerhouse for France. And I've actually gone with Kushunza for Wales. I'm not entirely sure he's going to start. This was, in all honesty, a budget pick, having to fit a lot of pretty decent players in. But yeah, I'm not sure Shunza is going to start, so I might have to do some tinkering after. But Miafu is really good value. I believe he's 13 stars. Is he a risk for a card? Definitely. So maybe Flamont is better. I think Flamont is 14 stars, so 1 star more expensive. If you've got the budget, it might be worth it. But Miafu, we all know that he's a solid hitter and a great carrier. Now for the back row, I think, and I would hope, it's pretty standard to have these first two on the team sheet. Ben Earl against Australia. I think he's vice-captain now. One of the 5 vice-captains for England. We all know what Earl can do. If you played World Cup Fantasy, then he is just a superstar. Similar to that is Gregory Aldry. So he's back from some injuries for France and starts at 8. So I'm hopeful that both of these are going to get good points just from previous fantasies that we've played. So to be honest, I think they're a mainstay in our teams. Exception to that is Francois Cross. He's obviously playing 6 for France and also just a pretty good ball carrier around the pitch. Could you pick someone else like a Jack Morgan or Lamaro for Italy? Definitely. I've just backed the fixture against Japan, to be quite honest. At halfbacks, we're also not messing around. We've got Marcus Smith, who scored me pretty decent points last week. I think it was like 60 odd, if I want to recall correctly. No, it was 48 points, which isn't that bad. He got most of his points obviously from penalties. Will they score as many penalties this week? Probably not. They'll probably want to put the ball around a little bit more through the hands. But Smith can also do that as well, right? And then Antoine Dupont, I don't think there's much needed to be said about him. Again, only risk is that he doesn't play the full 80. And I wouldn't imagine he does at all. Maybe 50, depending on how they're getting on in the game. Maybe 60 at a push. Luku's obviously on the bench. Might be a good super sub option, but yeah, we'll have to see. Adamant Dupont is going to get subbed though. In the centre, I've gone with a different nation pairing. You won't see any England or France. I've gone with Brex for Italy and Ringrose for Ireland. Ringrose obviously playing today on Friday. He's 14 stars, which is actually very cheap. Given like Menoncello is 17, I think Fiku is like 19 as well, which Fiku and Ringrose I thought pretty much on the same level. You might shoot me down for that. But yeah, I thought that was just quite cheap. Yes, does have a tough fixture in New Zealand, but it's in Ireland. And to be honest, I'm back in the Irish. Brex, we all know what he can do. Carries pretty well, offloads, and that partnership with Menoncello is just pretty decent. If they are going to win, then I reckon their centres have to be firing. And then in the back three. So, there's obviously a lot to choose from here. We've obviously, main exception is Damien Penaud. Reason why I haven't picked him is, one, he's 20 stars, so takes up quite a bit of the budget. He's also selected by pretty much everyone on the game so far. So I have done a little differential in BRA. I kind of think it's like the game last week against Scotland. Duhan van der Merwe obviously a great pick, but against weaker teams, they do just throw the ball around. And I'm hoping that is going to be the same for France. Like small, agile wingers, not saying Penaud isn't, but like BRA, Darcy Graham, they just have the same attributes to me. So I'm hopeful, and given there's not an out-and-out back three player on the bench, that they're going to play the whole game. So I have backed BRA. I've also backed Thomas Ramos, given Marcus Smith is points last weekend off the boot. Ramos is obviously going to kick, so I'm hopeful that he's going to get a lot of points. Obviously playing 10 and not playing fullback. It's a bit of a risk, but also, yeah, given Ramos off the boot, I have backed him. Finally, I have gone with Faber Boso. Again, just really cheap in the game. I think he's like 14 something stars, which is pretty mental given he's like England's out and out whiz kid on the wing. So I have backed him against Australia. Did score against New Zealand, so I am hopeful again this week. But let me know down in the comments. We've obviously got a lot of back three players to choose from. Obviously not even picking James Lowe, Darcy Graham after last week, Van der Merwe, or even any of the Italy back three, which is also frightening. So let me know what you think. I think this is probably where the differentials are going to start to kick in. And then finally, I have gone with Mathieu Jalibert as my super sub. So again, on the Marcus Smith and Ramos debate, I have gone with a kicker for my super sub. Obviously picked Stafford McDowell last time out. Tom Jordan was by far the best pick, and that's probably because he came on at about half time. Can't obviously predict that. What you can predict, though, is Jalibert possibly going to kick? Maybe come on for Ramos and take over kicking duties, so that's why I've backed that. Look, also could come on at 15 for Barret, who is starting 15 for France. So I've backed Jalibert. Another good pick is probably Fiku. He covers the whole back line, but is just 19 stars, so quite expensive. So yeah, I've backed another French player, but Jalibert, again, fair player, will come on and hopefully just inject pace into the game. So that is my team. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Again, as I said, I'll probably have to make some tweaks because I doubt Shunza will start. So that might mean I need to make some spare budget elsewhere. I've got 0.1 budget remaining. Yours might be different because maybe you didn't pick the same team as me last week and players go up and down, etc. But the final thing I'll allude to is the selections and people who have essentially picked the most players. I think at the moment it's like Antoine Dupont, Ramos and Penaud are the most picked players. So by not picking Penaud, that is obviously a big differential. And therefore, if Barret outperforms him, I'll be in a good spot. But if he doesn't outperform him, then yeah, I'm obviously going to miss Penaud. So I'm not set on it yet. I might go triple France back three. We'll have to see. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments because I'd be intrigued to hear. As always, join the league, JG Rugby League. It'll be down in the comments. And subscribe to the channel. And also turn notifications on to never miss a video. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.